Season's greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Omni viewer, and welcome to NonMoving Pictures, where we examine movie posters as art. As you can infer, it is Christmas time at long last, a time of peace on earth and goodwill towards men. I've got my Christmas fedora, my Christmas sweater, my Grinch-themed Christmas underwear, and a Christmas movie poster to commemorate the occasion. And let me tell you, once I learned about this movie poster, I knew I had to do it for the season. It's not so much the art that's interesting, but more the reasoning that went into making it. This is Miracle on 34th Street, the original classic.
Miracle on 34th Street, the original 1947 classic about legally proving the existence of Santa Claus in court. When it comes to Christmas movies, this is one of the gold standards. So I'm sure at least a few of you will be surprised to learn that the original movie poster looked like this. We have the giant floating heads of our two top-billed stars, and even though the little girl with Santa Claus is in between them, they are clearly looking at each other. In fact, the little girl and Santa Claus are just about the same shade of yellow as the background, meaning they almost blend in. This doesn't really look like a poster for a Christmas movie, does it? If anything, this looks like a rather generic romantic comedy that could take place at any point of the year. Santa Claus doesn't even really look like Santa Claus, he could just be the little girl's grandfather. Literally, the only hint we get that this movie has anything to do with Christmas comes from the color of the text. The names of Maureen O'Hara and John Payne are in green, while the title is in red. But even then, you're not necessarily guaranteed to notice that because the dominant color in this poster is yellow, which is not really considered a Christmas color. So what's going on here? How can one of the original Christmas classics have a movie poster that almost seems ashamed of the fact that it's a Christmas movie? Well, actually, there's a very interesting story behind this. Despite the fact that Miracle on 34th Street is practically dripping with Christmas from beginning to end, the movie was actually released in the summer, July to be specific. It seems the executives at 20th Century Fox didn't consider Christmas to be a very lucrative time of the year. No one goes to the movies at Christmas time. They're too busy shopping or staying inside because the weather outside is frightful, as the song goes. That might seem like a silly idea to us these days when Christmas movies are practically an annual tradition, but back in 1947, when the film industry was still fairly young, it wasn't necessarily that far-fetched of a notion. However, then as now, summer was the most lucrative time to release a movie. So it was that Miracle on 34th Street, a movie that not only features a Christmas icon in the form of Santa Claus, but also puts him in the Thanksgiving Day parade, was released in July. Of course, then you have a problem that July is not a season people associate with Christmas. If there was doubt that people would go to the theater to see a Christmas movie at Christmas time, it was certain they wouldn't go to see a Christmas movie in the middle of summer. So the advertisements for this movie did their absolute best to hide the fact that it was set at Christmas time. Or at the very least, downplay it to the point where people wouldn't necessarily think it was that big of a deal. As I said, the poster's only clue is the color of the text. It's kind of unfortunate, really. It's a choice that winds up making the poster kind of bland. There's really nothing about it that stands out, other than it looks like someone spilled lemonade on it. At least I hope it's lemonade. If circumstances had been different, and the posters had been allowed to embrace the Christmas spirit in the same way the movie did, who knows what they might have come up with. It really is a shame when a good movie is misrepresented by a boring poster. No wonder the home video releases go in the exact opposite direction. Despite the fact that it's very well painted, it's just not the iconic Christmas movie poster. Well, maybe we'll do better next year.
These days, Christmas movies wear their holiday spirit on their sleeves, so it's fascinating to think that one of the greatest classics of them all didn't do that. And yet it transcended this oddity and became a classic anyway. Go figure. Well, nothing left to say on that other than Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer, signing off. Next time, a journey into the world of immortal warriors.